This ship was not supposed to matter. It wasn't a supercarrier. It wasn't leading a fleet. And yet, it might be the one thing that changes everything in the Strait of Hormuz. On March 15th, satellites picked up something unusual moving through the South China Sea. A 45,000-ton warship cutting through open water at nearly 20 knots alone. No escort formation. No announcement, no explanation, just a silent course heading southwest. At first, it didn't make sense. It wasn't one of the massive carriers already deployed. It wasn't a destroyer, but ship trackers quickly identified it, USS Tripoli, and the Pentagon said nothing. No press briefing, no official statement, but its path told the story. Because while the world was focused on airstrikes and warships, a much bigger problem was unfolding. The Strait of Hormuz was shutting down. This isn't just another waterway. Nearly a fifth of the world's oil passes through this narrow corridor. On average, over 100 ships a day. Now, some days, none. Tankers stopped moving. Insurance collapsed. Routes abandoned, oil prices surged, and the reason wasn't a navy, because Iran doesn't need one anymore. All it takes is one missile, one successful hit on a tanker, and the entire system freezes. That's exactly what happened. Despite thousands of airstrikes, dozens of ships destroyed, the strait remained closed because the real threat was hidden deep inside mountains, underground missile tunnels, mobile launchers, systems that strike and disappear within minutes. You can bomb the surface all day, but you can't kill what you can't see. And that's where Tripoli comes in, because Tripoli isn't built like a normal warship. It was criticized from the start, an amphibious assault ship with no well deck, no landing craft, no traditional way to deploy forces. Many called it a mistake, but what replaced that space changed everything. A massive aviation hangar, expanded fuel storage, and the ability to carry up to 20 F-35B stealth fighters, not as support, but as the main force. This is something the US hadn't fielded in decades. A light aircraft carrier, fast, flexible, independent. And right now, it's loaded. On board are 2,500 Marines from the 31st Marine Expeditionary Unit. This isn't just a transport force, it's a complete combat package. Infantry, attack helicopters, heavy lift aircraft, stealth fighters, everything needed to fight without waiting for reinforcements. And Tripoli isn't alone anymore. A guided missile cruiser, a destroyer, together forming a compact, lethal strike group, small enough to move fast, powerful enough to hit hard, and designed to operate where larger carriers can't, closer to the threat, much closer. That changes the entire battlefield, because distance is everything. Traditional carriers operate hundreds of miles away. Their aircraft get limited time over target, minutes, before they have to turn back. But Tripoli, it can move within striking range, close enough for its F-35Bs to stay in the fight longer, to watch, to track, to respond instantly. But the real power is not in the jets, it's in the Marines. Because airstrikes can destroy targets, but they can't clear tunnels, they can't secure terrain, they can't eliminate launchers hiding inside mountains. Only boots on the ground can do that. And not the kind that land on beaches, the kind that come from above. Helicopters, Ospreys, inserting forces deep behind enemy positions, landing where defenses don't exist. This is vertical warfare, and it's exactly what these Marines train for. The islands inside the strait, the cliffs along the coastline, the hidden launch points above the shipping lanes, all of them suddenly become vulnerable. For the first time, those untouchable missile systems aren't untouchable anymore. Meanwhile, the rest of the system is falling into place. Mine-clearing ships moving in, destroyers building a defensive shield, fighters suppressing threats from the air. Step by step, a full operation to reopen the strait. But none of it works without solving the core problem, those hidden launchers. That's the deadlock. And that's why Tripoli matters. Not because it's the biggest, not because it's the most powerful, but because because it does something nothing else can. It brings the fight exactly where it needs to be. The ship once called a design failure might be the one platform that breaks the entire stalemate, because it doesn't rely on distance, it doesn't rely on visibility, and it doesn't wait. It carries everything it needs to end the problem at its source. And when it arrives in the Persian Gulf, the rules of the game may change overnight.